I want to start with your kind of background. Is fashion something that you have always been interested in? Is it something that came about a little later in life? How did you get into it?
Well, I got into it halfway through college, and I didn't go to school for fashion, at least not initially. I went to school for so many different things that ultimately didn't pan out. But about halfway through my engineering degree, it just occurred to me one night that I wasn't going to pursue that path as a career. And I was just stricken because growing up, I'd had so much dictated for me by way of what I was supposed to be doing. And I always did music forever, but didn't want to do that, and had extracurricular math classes. So it was just a constant ebb and flow of things I had to do, and nothing that I'd really been passionate about and wanted to do by choice. So ultimately, halfway through school, on my college budget, I started getting into a lot of different fashion magazines. So a lot of major publications, of course, and journals. And what I saw in those pages were not just a lot of women, but fashionable women. And it had never occurred to me that leading a fashionable life was a conscious decision and something that required a lot of introspection and thought. And I always say that my transformation into who I am today and a lot of the security and confidence I have now came from being able to project how I feel from the outside in. And from there, I wanted to pursue that and encourage that for other women. So that's how I got into fashion first. It was sort of a crisis moment. And then from there, I went into actual corporate fashion. So halfway through school, I decided to do an internship with Nordstrom. I was in Chicago at the time, and I was still taking classes, but I would take the train back and forth in all kinds of inclement weather. And then after I did that, that was a retail merchandising internship. So I got to see basically being on the floor and also parts of visual merchandising. So how pieces are highlighted so that they're more attractive in a physical display. And then after that, I was still pretty sure that I was going to continue fashion. So I think I just walked into the Escada boutique in downtown Chicago, and I just asked the manager if she would let me intern there for free. And she did. She's become something of a friend still. And I did everything from putting up the Christmas decorations to accessorizing and steaming and bringing clothes out for customers. And then that segued into Escada in New York. And from that, I learned, like that classic movie, Devil Wears Prada, that you as an intern in fashion will do the most unglamorous things. That there's a lot of talk of, when you see in the magazines, that's the final edited glossy version, like you and I were talking about. You don't see any of the behind the scenes of the drama with the steaming and having to haul these things up and down in the hot summer heat. I did end up walking people's dogs. It was it was absolutely a lesson in patience and discipline. And from then on, I came back to Seattle, which is where I'm born and raised, and worked in corporate Nordstrom. So mostly buying for men's ties, tie pins, and dress shirts. So I got into fashion from a corporate perspective, but also because I was really looking for something that gave me passion.
Hmm.